You put the code on the server, you woke up at 3 a.m. I think Chris spent this weekend up till 3 a.m. every night, which I slept through. That's the good part about being in management. So
we had a rough weekend. MLK Day, a lot of people at home.
Yeah. So if you guys want to ask questions, I know I've gone way broad, and I wanted to do that, and I honestly didn't know on the way down what kind of crowd, if it's more app-based or more code-centric, and Chris and I can answer any questions.
One of the things we're actually rolling out right now is called the relay system, which if I had a massive whiteboard, I would whiteboard it out for you. But it's basically taking a set of caching servers and clustering them so that they can replicate writes between one another. And these servers actually run the CLR with the WinSock wrapper around it. It's a blob that ends up in our caching layer. And then over here, you have the databases that are more and more servicing non-synchronous queries with the front end. And they, like, for example, a social network is highly relational. We are very relational in our database queries. You have to query friends networks, you have to build that stuff out, and SQL is a beautiful place to do that. And places where you have a big, thick index, ultimately driving down to a small piece of data, which you then pass back into the database engine. That's a big high gloss there of kind of the idea of a distributed environment in which you have certain middle tier layers always doing exactly what they're for, where it's very easy to allocate threads. It's fairly easy to marshal them through the thread pool, but in many cases, one is led to believe that throwing more threads at the problem will solve the problem. And as probably most of us in this room are aware, that does not solve the problem, and we need more and better constructs for setting up concurrent processes on multi-processors.
What kind of problems you faced and how you dealt with them?
That's a very...
You have more than 2 words. The first 2 words you start with are PowerShell. I'm sorry.
Yes, and PowerShell. There are some obstacles we've had in that in some ideal situations we'd like to be able to boot Windows easily off of the network, which we've had trouble with. So deploying is actually not a problem. Recovering from deploying is a problem. And that's another thing where our servers come up under load, very heavy load, and so we have to deploy slowly.
And you guys should check out PowerShell, because what we ended up running into was